This video was possible because of the PvZ Garden Warfare subreddit, link will be in the description. Welcome to the series where we see how and why a character is underrated or overrated, and today we are talking about Cozmic Brainz, which is usually placed at the bottom or close or at the top, but what could have caused this huge gap? That's what we are here today to find out. First, to see why Cozmic Brainz is underrated, we must take a look at what they offer as a character. Cozmic is a part of the Super Brainz class, and is the only charged character on the zombie side. Cozmic has 3 different charges, and doesn't lose or gain any speed while charging. All of his charged punches have their own uses. The third charge does 77 damage, has 1.25 times more range than the other punches, and if an opponent dies from this punch, they will be unrevivable. It also has a unique effect of knocking people back, allowing you to get a free second charged punch. His second charge is very unique in the way that it is better than the uncharged punches damage-wise, since it only takes 0.4 seconds to charge, and the uncharged ones doing only 22 damage. The uncharged punches might seem useless, but they can be used to lower kill times even more. As we can see here, Cozmic is better against lower health classes, but isn't as good against higher health classes. Cozmic gets a huge advantage by catching the enemy by surprise. You are able to fall while charging, which makes having high ground an advantage since you can fall down and catch a plant by surprise. Since Cozmic's third charge can knock plants back, it is perfect for close-range threats like choppers or citrons, and can completely counter a character like Hot Rod due to his lower health. Cozmic's third charge can go through a citron shield and instantly destroys the mood shield. His third charge doesn't knock plants out of abilities like Gatling or Sunbeam. If a plant jumps above or hovers above Cozmic while he uses his third charge, it might send them up into the air, even allowing him to get another third charge punch at times. If he uses the Ultra Ball while charging on the ground, he can move slightly before shooting it. He can combine his third charge and his Ultra Ball for faster kill time against choppers and corns. Cozmic can jump in the air while charging from lag, but you only need barely any lag for it to work. You don't just lag because of your internet, but also your host's internet. If you host a match, you won't lag, but it will be carried to other people instead. But in an online match, the AI servers host it, so you can always jump in the air while charging as long as it isn't in your match. You can also kick while charging, but you have to be already charging in midair. Kicking will reset your charge though. Cozmic's beam fires 5.83 shots every second and does 10.5 damage and 12.6 for a critical hit at 10 meters to 1.2 damage and 1.4 for a critical hit at 46 meters. His beam often kills faster than his second charge punches, but overheats in 2.73 seconds and goes for an overheat penalty of 6 seconds. He can combine his fully charged shot and his beam to get faster kill times with the beam and sometimes with the punches too. We could look at the facts all day, but there is always a reason why a character is underrated or overrated. A lot of popular content creators have influenced people to think Cozmic Brainz is one of the worst characters in the game, but let's go see why they think that by watching a video on why Wolfie Plays thinks Cozmic is the worst. SB Wolfie tried seeing if the game was laggy enough for him to jump while charging, but he doesn't know that it always will work in a multiplayer match. He never talks about the stuff you can do to make this character better, causing me to believe that he doesn't know about all of Cozmic's quirks. He talks about his beam getting nerfed. Before his beam got nerfed, it used to deal 10 damage for a critical hit at long range before it got nerfed to 1.4 damage. Some people usually call characters bad by explaining it with a nerf instead of talking about the character's current state. I believe this could be a reason. Cozmic has a playstyle where he waits for his opponents to get closer to him by camping on the high ground, usually so he can surprise them from above. Super Brainz usually has more of an aggressive playstyle. I believe people try to be very aggressive with him, causing them to underrate him. We're, now, going to see some people's take on this topic. He's an alright Super Brainz, however worse than default, really fun to play though. If you can play with lag on your side, he's better than most of the super classes. During the time to get to the enemy, you can charge up. Oddly enough, There's somewhat of a cult behind him, mainly in opposition to Wolfie's video about Cozmic being the worst class. They keep mentioning how underrated Cozmic is, to the point where it is quite literally overrated now. I don't see anyone talking about Party Brainz, which is basically a straight upgrade from the already decent stock variant. Arguably, you could say he's better than Reg, possibly Party Brainz. Recently he's a shitload of fun, and his second punch rather comes very quickly, making his TTK very quick with his damage upgrade. Honestly, very underrated. I don't understand why people listen to content creators when you can just play the character and see it yourself. Same with the Citron, he ain't that bad, nor is he good. Cozmic is probably the most controversial of the SB class, which isn't really saying a lot, but whatever. Most of the community thinks he's roughly around stock, with most saying he's slightly worse than stock. However, there's a decent amount of people who say he's the worst and a smaller group who generally consider him to be on par with Party and Toxic. His chargeable punch gimmick and weird interactions when playing multiplayer are the main reasons he's controversial. Cozmic's exploits, mainly charging in his fists in midair and while doing an ability, most prominently heroic kick, are the main factors behind his viability, which does lead some people, usually the people who think he's ass, to either disregard them or simply not know about it. The charging exploits are the primary reason. Cozmic is regarded by some as one of the best SBs, as it allows him to abuse his less than a second kill time against 125 horsepower targets much more often. Personally, I think he's better than stock, but worse than Party and Toxic, since his insane TTK with a full charge punch lets him ambush plants more effectively than any other SB in the game, but Party Brainz is overall more reliable, having better TTK in 1v1 situations where Cozmic doesn't have a full charge, and has a really powerful meter and Toxic's snowballing potential, outdoing Cozmic's better reliability in most situations. Cozmic is still a very good character, and in my opinion extremely fun to play as well. He's like A or B tier depending on your play style. Personally, I'm really bad at charge characters, so I'd rate him lower than Reg Super Brainz, but that's more of a personal opinion and skill issue for me. Others might find him more better than Reg, some might even say he's as good as Toxic Brainz or Party Brainz. More scale-based than other SBs and usually requires a different approach than other variants. However, he can be a very dangerous threat if played correctly. I can say without a doubt, Cozmic Brainz is underrated. Simply because people don't know that much about him or the in-game mechanics about lag. Even people that know a bunch of stuff about Cozmic might not know that you can move slightly while using an Ultra Ball or that you can kick while charging. He doesn't really have that much of a disadvantage from his charge attack being better than the uncharged shots because of his second charge taking only 0.4 seconds and the beam not being charged based. People want a class to be played a certain way when every character in that class should be played differently based on their characteristics. No matter if you think he is underrated or not, you cannot deny that Cozmic is a complicated character that most people don't understand. Before we go, how bad is Cozmic if you don't play him correctly? For this we are going to compare Cozmic to Toxic Brainz without Toxic Overload. It takes 0.83 seconds to kill a cactus starting with a full charge but then using a second charge. But what if we use the uncharged punches after the third? We would need to use 3 uncharged punches after the third. It would now take 1.4 seconds to kill a cactus. You would kill the cactus in 1.3 seconds if you used a second charge after an uncharged one, which proves how important it is to use the second charge. You can kill a cactus with just your beam in 1.53 seconds. To put this into perspective, Toxic can kill a cactus in 2.03 seconds while Cozmic can kill a cactus with the uncharged punches in 2.33 seconds. Combine this with the fact that people will try to be aggressive with Cozmic and think that he needs to hope the game is lagging to jump while charging. It's easy to see why people think he is so bad.